Good afternoon, fellow entrepreneurs, fellow knowledge seekers, fellow YouTubers. My name is Jeff, aka Hayfro, and you are at my channel, hayfrosells.com. Full-time reseller here, struggling to get through the summer slowdown. My wife and I were talking the other day, Maria, and I said, I'm going to start my own reselling platform. I'm going to call it eBay. And my slogan is going to be sellers first. Wouldn't that just be great? An online platform designed by sellers for sellers. Buyers would come, no matter what. Buyers would come. That's just a pipe dream. I just thought it would be funny. eBay. It's a little seed right now. We'll see what happens. Anyhow, got some sales. Haven't really listed much today. Just pretty much in that same state of mind that I was yesterday. Just listing some local stuff, focusing on what's working right now. I am going to list some stuff on eBay, but I had enough things that I wanted to talk about. And I want to get these items packaged up. I already got one of them packaged up. I totally forgot about it, but I'm going to show you a picture of it. Actually, let's just start with that. So what is in this are these IKEA. They're little bracket handles, brackets. Let's see here. Well, anyhow, there are two of them, and then there's another one that is actually missing a bracket and missing some things. So these three sold for $25 plus shipping, and I buy a lot of obscure IKEA things because I know that people, when they need them, they need them, and when they need them, where do they go to find anything obscure? eBay, which is one of the things that I want to talk about. What has eBay become? Because what they originally was a place where you could go and you could buy unique items, you could buy collectibles, you could buy, you go to eBay when you need to find the one or two things that you can't find anywhere else. Depending on where you live, maybe you don't have an IKEA anywhere within 500 miles. So where are you going to go? You're going to go to eBay. So what has eBay become? Because the eBay that I know and love, it's almost like they don't want sellers like that anymore. It's like they want to be Amazon. They're like Amazon's little distant, I don't even want to say brother because they're not even related to Amazon. They're like Amazon's third cousin removed by marriage, and they're looking up and they're like, I want to be like Amazon when I grow up. And they're implementing all these changes. There's so many changes on the website. There's so many policy changes, category changes, item-specific changes, server changes, blah, 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 blah. And it is causing havoc on the website. Now, I'm going to read some comments from yesterday's post because this all ties in. Everything ties into kind of like what I'm thinking about. What did I do with? Okay. Because some people think I'm just complaining, I'm just whining, it's my products. I'm a dinosaur. I should focus on things. I should sell $10 iPhones to prove that items will sell. I mean, you're stating the obvious. If you list an iPhone for $10 and it works, of course it's going to sell. Please don't insult my intelligence. But it's not just me. Like if it was just me, then I would have to look inwards and I would be like, okay, yes, I am the problem. So I'm going to read some comments. JRKR 1964, I haven't been motivated to list either when your effort and hard work aren't rewarded, it's hard to want to keep working as much as when sales are happening. I think he meant to say when sales aren't happening. Josh Gall, my sales collapsed overnight on April 1st. It has been a struggle ever since. If you've watched his show today, that was what the whole show was talking kind of about, how things have become a struggle on eBay, and he is seeing it from similar sellers. He's very plugged into the community. He's very plugged in to the community, and I am seeing it. I am hearing it. I am watching other videos, and yes, there are people that are killing it on eBay, but there are people that are killing it on Amazon as well. But what has eBay become? Like, if eBay has become a site where they only want sellers who sell, let's just say, widgets, and then you can fill in whatever you want, widgets that have high sell-through rates. If that's the only kind of people, sellers, that eBay wants on there, then I don't actually want to be a part of that version of eBay. Right now we're in this twisted alternate reality where eBay is having a midlife identity crisis. I am not gonna stop selling the kind of items that I sell, because that's the passion. That's what drives me to do it. If I had to sell widgets with high sell-through rates, then I might as well just go get a job. That's not why I do what I do. I'm very passionate about curating unique items that, yes, don't have high sell-through rates. But what is rewarding for me is when I get feedback and comments about how people have been looking for this, or I sell something locally. I mean, and like for example, I sold this coffee cup to this woman who had traveled all the way, not for the coffee cup. She was coming into the area. She flew from Toronto because she was visiting her family over here. She's looked all over for this particular coffee cup, which is funny because I have like 10 of them. It's this Bailey's red and coffee cup. It was her son's favorite coffee cup. She broke it, or it got broken. I'm not sure which. So she bought 2 of them because she wanted to replace it and have an extra. And I hear this all the time from my particular buyers. For instance, this, which sold yesterday for $75 US, which I showed you guys. I hated to sell it for what I did because I know it's worth more. This particular woman was like, I've been searching for this forever since somebody stole it out of my garden. Thank you for accepting my offer. That kind of makes me feel like that's going to a good home. Yes, I accepted the offer because I didn't have a sale on that on my wife's store for over 24 hours. I sold this Fireball shot glass. I don't know if you can see it, for $15. I like selling these things. I do. I like picking up obscure shot glasses and reselling them. And I'm sure that this person probably had trouble finding this exact one. Maybe not. I paid $1 for it. Maybe even less. I'm not sure. I'm not going to change what I'm selling. I might change the way that I sell it. I might change the platform that I sell it on, because, well, let me continue with the comments. I have 100 bottles of perfume. This is Nash TV8. I've had regular dialogue with this particular viewer, and I appreciate all that you do as well, keeping me updated. I usually sell a few per week, but none have sold in about a month. But today I received a message that says, "Hi, I'd like to buy this perfume, but it says local pickup only." I checked my listing and I confirmed that I have never had the local pickup option on. Yet another accidental shadow ban by eBay on one of my items. I've not heard that before. Have any of you guys heard about your listings and whether or not the local pickup option had suddenly been checked? Okay, so let's get to this particular thread. I know this isn't what you want to hear, but I tracked down your store by looking for the Hello Kitty comb you sold. I went through about 15 listings, and your pricing is always in the middle of the pack, and your items aren't even displayed on the first page if someone sorts lowest price to highest, which most people do. You also sell so many obscure items that are hard to search for. You're selling a camera for $30 and you have unlimited supply for $8. Why would someone buy yours? I know it's hard to admit when we're at fault, but it's not eBay holding back your listings. Unless you promote at an insane amount, your items are never going to show up when someone sorts lowest price to highest. I never promote Panasonic, VCR, and they sell immediately. You have to move on from this crazy conspiracy that eBay is holding you back. Who's going to search for a custom-made leather Aspen keychain? If you truly believe eBay is holding back your listings, promote some of your low-dollar listings at 100%, and I promise you they will still not sell. eBay can't force buyers to buy items that are low in demand and well over comps. All right, there's a lot of things I want to address here. First off, the keychain, I have sold dozens of these particular keychains, so I know that they'll sell. And I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you don't know what you're talking about in regards to that. Now, the camera that I have overpriced, maybe it's been in my store a while. But I want to talk about, I don't actually think eBay is holding back my listings. I don't think that they're singling me out. Because another commenter, and I'll read his comment, he basically says, no, eBay doesn't care about you or me. And I 100% agree with that. They don't care about anybody on the platform. They care about the buyers, but they don't actually care about the sellers. They feel that we are very replaceable. And I get that because they will, they don't look at things from a logical perspective in terms of, this seller, he's a good seller, this seller, he's a bad seller. And I've actually spoken with Vero reps, and they've admitted that your past history, they don't take that into effect on any capacity. Now, and I thought that was absolutely insane when he said that to me, because I was basically saying how, I was talking to a Vero rep. I'm going to get off a track here, but I was talking to a Vero rep once, and I was saying, if you get a couple Veros, you don't look at the history and you don't see that this particular buyer has a long-standing track record. And he said, well, we don't know that your account wasn't hijacked by someone else, and now you're selling counterfeit items, and now you're going against eBay policy. We don't know that, so we have to basically treat everybody. Everything is just a fact to them. So they don't actually care if you've been, and this is from their own mouth, they don't actually care if you've been a 12-year seller or a 20-year seller. We're all treated the same, which to me is absolutely nuts. Because in this day and age, everybody has so many options. You would think that you would want to create some brand loyalty. All right, so where was I? I was talking about keychains. Okay, I didn't want to make you guys wait till I got my train of thought back. eBay is not singling me out. That is not what I'm trying to say. So maybe you haven't watched any of my previous videos to really kind of understand what I'm trying to convey as to what I believe is going on. Something has changed with eBay. Now, it all comes down to search visibility or your item's visibility to the consumer. I believe that our items are just not being seen. And there's a number of reasons, and if this is not a conspiracy theory, and this is not just me saying this. There have been server updates, international shipping has been added, different iterations of that, and the search results are whacked. That contributes to low search visibility. There have been checkout issues. The checkout issues and the website glitches are the only thing that has nothing to do with search visibility. And eBay has literally cost me 2 sales in the last 2 weeks because of checkout issues. People they've had time to change their mind, or they weren't able to actually check out. Promoted listings, in my opinion, is a disaster. It is a way to, if you would look at their earnings report, the majority of their earnings came from, the majority of their new ways that they created income came from promoted listings, which is just sucking us dry for sellers. It's not sustainable. And what I continue to believe that the sell-through rate metric that they have, I have no proof of this, but they have changed something to where they are punishing large stores with long tail items. And this circles back to what has eBay become. Because in the beginning, those were the kinds of items that eBay was built on. Collectibles, unique items, items you can't find anywhere else. That was what, I would wager that if you surveyed 100 people and you asked some sort of questions, what do you think of when you think of eBay? What do you think of when you think of Amazon? People would probably, I would say the cumulative answer for eBay are going to be like unique items, where Amazon is going to be like widgets. Like I'm generalizing. So eBay is trying to go against what built that company, and they're punishing the sellers who are basically selling the items that built eBay. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think. But the majority of these issues that we're having, the search visibility, server updates, international shipping, mess ups, search results, promoted listings, and sell-through rates metrics, I believe all of these things are contributing to poor search visibilities, that customers are not actually seeing my particular items in this instance, and many other sellers' items, because they're when they look at their views and they look at their impressions, and they're looking at things with how many items are selling versus how many items traditionally selling, and how many offers that we have that are available to send to watchers. Those have dropped. So the things that were working pre-April, and so I think a couple things happened. I think something happened in April, and I think an update, and I think something happened in mid-July when the impressions dropped. And I think those things, combined with the things that I just mentioned, continue to be the problem that a number of sellers are having, and which is causing a number of sellers to leave the platform, a large number of sellers to have to cross-list out of necessity just to pay their bills, or they're just flat out leaving eBay in general. All right, so the response to that, the one buyer who doesn't particularly like me very much by the sounds of his comment, and this is, if you are an eBay seller and you focus on high sell-through rates, items, I can just tell you right now that this is not the channel for you. So I actually don't even know why you would be watching this channel. It's like watching a cooking channel where you don't get any enjoyment out of it and you have no plans to cook. So and then you leave a comment and you expect me to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to change my entire business model because somebody leaves a comment. That's not going to happen. Just like I am not going to be able to convince you that I'm right. We're at an impasse here. Like, you have your opinion and I have my opinion. And I have my opinion. I have years of reselling to back up the fact that I know what I'm doing. So this is a great comment by J.L. Stanton. And he challenges, and the previous commenter, and the commenter had no response. Maybe he just hasn't responded. I'm curious what your theory is regarding late March, when my consistent sales for records and books went from 200 a day to less than 100 and didn't rebound. My prices are usually the lowest for the condition of the book or the record, which is directly challenging the previous commenter saying that my prices are high. And that actually brings me to another point is, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, buyers have no shame in sending offers. No shame. So I'm not seeing the same amount of offers either, which again leads me to believe in the absence of any known facts other than what I'm experiencing is that our items are just not being seen. Because if they were, I would be getting, especially in this environment when people are still spending money, but they're being more selective and they're trying to get better prices, I would be seeing a lot more lowball offers. My prices are usually the lowest for the condition of the book or record. I only promote at 2.1% as many of my items are one-offs and I have 24 years on the platform. I mean, this guy has literally almost been there since the beginning. 100% feedback, top seller, blah, blah, blah. I continue to list and the only thing that's happening in my overall value is my overall value continues to go up. But I have to cross-list to other platforms and sell through my Facebook groups to make up for the losses I've had on eBay. It's not that the items won't sell. It's that they won't sell on eBay any longer. And I would add, it's because they're not being seen. When there is such a dramatic fall and the person hasn't done anything different, maybe it's the platform. When you hear this happening to literally thousands of people, it might not be them. Unfortunately, people come along and blame it on the seller. Maybe, just maybe, eBay did something that screwed up our sales and they don't know how to fix it. And I would add to that, it's whatever they did is it's affecting our sales because it's affecting the visibility. The question we have to ask ourselves is, when will the problems that eBay has created for themselves and the buyers get fixed? I hate to say it, but it's probably going to be a couple years or more, and it won't start until the current CEO is fired or resigns. Look at the stats over his entire tenure. It's pretty bad, which I remember a commenter just the other day saying how much good Jamie has done for eBay, but he didn't really state any facts. When the platform is bleeding millions of users a year, tens of thousands of sellers, has users not being able to log in, check out, do searches for books without having lingerie, tires, dishes, etc. coming up, it might just be the platform. I called up eBay maybe 20 times in my first 22 years. This year, I've been calling almost every day to report issues. If they don't do something soon, they'll join Blockbuster and Sears soon, or they will become irrelevant. Sorry to sound so negative, but I don't know of anyone in my circle of resellers from Springville, Utah, all the way up to Rexbury, Idaho, 300-mile stretch, who hasn't lost huge percentage of their sales this year, starting in March, early April. eBay did something. Josh Galt was talking about in April is when he really started to see a massive decline. He said he charts his sales, they go up, 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 and then they just collapse. And then it's like a stock chart where they released something so negative, or they did something so poorly that investors reacted so negatively that's an overreaction, and it's just collapsed, and then it hasn't rebounded. It's just kind of chugged, and he actually said it's actually getting worse. eBay did something to the coding at that time, and it wrecked the system. I mean, eBay, come out. Let us know. Tell us what you did in April. They won't. With so many people complaining about the same thing, I have to say that it's eBay and not the sellers who have been changing things up. And the only thing that I keep thinking is that it's only a matter of time before this affects eBay's bottom line. And then something will get done. Somebody says, totally agree. When you virtually have the same inventory and doing the same things, that it doesn't seem like it's the seller's fault. And then another viewer chimes in, and he has lots of negative things to say. That's insane. Trends and items, demands change all the time. People complain that they can't sell DVDs anymore. Adapt or you die. eBay does not restrict sales. It's how they make money. The logic is so stupid and a crutch failing sellers use to avoid responsibility. List an iPhone for $10 and don't promote. It'll sell in seconds. Yeah. Like this, yes, trends and demands change all the time. I sell DVDs. I don't sell a lot of them, but I do sell them. And anything that goes out of style will oftentimes come back in. Cassettes, vinyl, even to some degree, CDs are starting to come back into favor as millennials and people born after a certain age, they kind of want to have something tangible. eBay doesn't restrict your listings. They're nearly a $10 billion company. This is from the same previous commenter. They do not care about you or me. I totally agree. They don't give two shits about any of us. It's time to be an adult and take accountability for your performance. And then he says, how eBay hides your listings. Yes, the billion-dollar corporation has its hand selected you to restrict its sales and short themselves final value fees. It's not that they're, like I said, they're not singling me out. I am not that important. I am very insignificant. I admit that. And it's not that they're short selling themselves. It's that they would rather, through the promoted listings debacle, they would rather have people sell the same item that I am selling who are promoting at a higher level. So they make more money from the final value fees and the promoted listings. If you do not think that eBay has coded this into their system, then you don't know business. Because eBay would rather make, if someone is promoting at 15%, they would rather have that item sell than I'm not, like on my one, I literally have taken all my promoted listings off my wife's account. I'm doing an experiment right now. I'm just testing something. I've had enough. I would rather do markdown sales. I would rather give the customer a higher percentage discount than I would give eBay promoted listings. I am promoting at a very, very small, I think it's 2.5% on my store. But if you don't think eBay, in this scenario, if somebody's promoting 15%, we have the same exact item, and you don't think that eBay would rather have the item where they can make 30% commission versus 15% commission, just rough figures. It would be a simple if-then statement to like suppress and have sellers whose items are not being promoted at a significant percentage or promoted at all, being pushed to the bottom. Then you are definitely not giving eBay enough credit for their business savvy. All right, let's see here. What else is sold? I sold a couple, a PEI Green Gables button and a pin. What did I sell that for? I believe it was $8. $7.50. And these little IKEA brackets, I don't even really know what they are. But like I said, anytime I see something IKEA, if you pick it up cheap enough, these sold for $16.46 plus shipping and handling. I think I probably paid 50 cents each for these. Maybe even 50 cents for the pair. Because you think about it, if IKEA is making these, there's going to be a demand for them no matter what. And I don't think these are out of stock or discontinued. I definitely know those handles are discontinued because you can tell by the internal IKEA SKU how old something is. So I don't even think I found a comp for those anywhere. But I picked them up because they were cheap enough. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I got for right now. I don't know if I'm going to make this video and I'm going to drop it tonight, or I might hold off and see if anything else sells and drop it tomorrow. Movie recommendation. If you're looking for something to watch on Netflix, They Cloned Tyrone. Excellent. And sometimes it's nice just to watch a movie, not have to like commit to like a 3-season series. Jamie Foxx kills it in this. It's sci-fi, it's comedy. There's a lot of subject that they touch upon. It's very well thought out, and I've read some reviews and I've read some information diving into the creators and kind of messages and concepts that they wanted to get out there. It's very good. If you're still here, like, subscribe, feed that YouTube algo. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys who take the time to comment and get some dialogue going on my channel. Yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. So have a great weekend. I will be back. Like I said, I'll probably be back later tonight or later tomorrow. Either add to this video or I'll publish this. I'm not sure yet. Anyhow, have a good night. We'll talk soon.